Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever felt constricted by your religious beliefs or your traditional spiritual walk? Is your spiritual life enriching your experience? Do you feel like you are having an amazing day most days? And do you feel exuberant and free? Or do you feel constricted and restrained? Today, I just want to have a very brief conversation with you about the difference between those two and what that meant for me in my practice. Now, there are so many people like myself who are spiritual beings. We're spiritualists. And we also get sometimes caught up with the religious dogmas that are floating around. Whether you're a Christian or you're Muslim or you're Buddhist or you're traditional spiritualist, even from the African spiritual tradition, there can be times when you find yourself really bogged down and tied down with tradition. That is, what is my belief saying that I should do? Now, that kind of experience is okay, I would imagine, to an extent. But if you find that your whole spiritual experience is one that feels burdensome and it's not enriching and it's not uplifting your life and causing you to feel vibrant every day, then you ought to take a second look about what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying that you should abandon your traditional beliefs, but the fact is that those traditional beliefs and those practices take second nature. Yes, I did say that. Second nature to your own intuitive guidance that your spirits are guiding you on. We each have come into this world with what we call a guardian angel, a guardian spirit, a head spirit. There is a spirit, an entity that is guiding your life and directing your life. And many times, some of us are not attuned to those voices or the intuitive insights or hits or impressions that come in because we're so busy focused outwards. But we have this intuitive guidance. Are you allowing that to guide your spiritual experience? Because let's be clear about this. Your spiritual walk is not separate from your business walk, from your marital walk, from your relationship walk, from your leadership walk. It is not separate. We were trained to believe that those are all different compartments in our lives, but the whole reality is that they all integrate. Right now, I'm in my office, a very beautiful space that I had my lovely daughter come in and rearrange my stuff so that it really looks pleasing. But when I had a visitor come in one of the corners, there is my spiritual altar that is set up with all of my pictures and the honoring of my ancestors and all my spiritual tools. So I had a visitor come in, and their first experience was, or the first words were that maybe I should separate my altar from my office space. And that immediately flew in my face. It was like, no, my spirituality is me. It's who I am. It's my spirits are who I interact with. My work and my spiritual life are one. Everything that I do in my life is integrated with that spirit guidance. And so I listen intuitively. When I'm working, I glance over sometimes and tune in to any messages that are coming in. I have that freedom to do that at any time, free of the constraints of any spiritual traditions or things that tell me how I should behave or what I should do. Yes, you will have traditions that you may have to do. And the reality is, the flow and the peace and the joy and the guidance and the uplifting and the abundance that you're seeking in your life can only occur when you are flowing smoothly with those guidance that's coming in. If you're feeling constricted, like, I am not able to do that, what would my priest think? Or what would my pastor think? Or what would my fellow members think if I were to exhibit certain behaviors? Then you're already exhibiting that kind of constraint that is going to keep you stuck in your walk. So I am here to encourage you to flow. What guidance comes in? When I come into this space in the morning to interact with my altar and my spirits, my ancestors, I listen for the flow. I have a little drum, a little circular drum. It's not tied to any tradition, but it's a drum that I have. And I walked in the other day and I was impressed to pick that drum up and to start beating on that drum. So in the mornings, that is a part of the ritual that I am now doing. I don't know for how long I will feel impressed to do it, but I do it and it brings me immense joy. I can feel the energy flow in as I'm participating in this drum beating, and I can picture all of my guidance spirits and my ancestors just gleefully clapping and dancing as I beat this drum, free from the constraint of what would anyone think if I do that. If I pick up my rattle and I start shaking that, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. How are you feeling about doing that? So this topic has been on my mind for a few weeks because I see how people constrain themselves based on what they think is acceptable behaviors in the spiritual circle. They don't want to be different, or they don't want to be talked about, and so they conform. But conforming has never been a thing of mine. I don't want to be like everybody else unless that's what my guidance is coming in to say. I am going to be me. I'm going to be different. And I'm encouraging you to be you, your own unique, authentic self, flowing with spirit, flowing with guidance. So when you go to your next spiritual experience, whether it is you meditating or you alone or in a group or whatever, listen to the flow and allow that energy to flow spaciously, to fill you, to flow through you, so you can expand and be your fullest, best self. So you can experience the joy of living this spiritual walk. Because, friends, there are days when things will feel heavy, but most of the days it shouldn't be. It shouldn't. And in those moments when those heaviness are coming in, you can turn it off, switch it off really quickly before it takes set. Because once it does, it's a downward spiral that's going to bring you down and down and down. And you're going to find it more difficult to lift yourself out of it. So what's the essence of my little talk today? Be in the flow of you. Let your guiding spirits, your guardian angels, your ancestors, let the flow come in. Listen to what your spirit is asking you to do, and then just act and do it. Be in the freedom of of love, the freedom of this spiritual walk. It's so exuberant. It is wonderful. And it's not a space where you're depressed and feeling hopeless. And if that is the place where you are right now, there is no judgment at all. What I am going to encourage you to do is to see the link below to book a 15-minute consultation so we can talk about how we can lift those energies to cause you to feel lighter and more exuberant and to be in flow. So thank you for listening to my little chat today, and I would invite you, if you like this video, to click the button and consider subscribing so we can be back here again when I post my next video. Thank you so much for joining me. That's all I have for you today. Bye for now.